Mom, I like to propose a dinner optimization plan for 2026. Soccer practice every week. Get back late and you're stressed out about making something fast, but actually nutritious for dinner. When Ashley's mom picked me up, I noticed that she made Blue Apron. It came in like a little kit. By the time it was ready, I still had shin guards on. And it was real food, fresh veggies, protein, actual flavor. Take her from the younger generation. We're innovators, keeping a couple Blue Apron meals around. Not the worst idea.
Get $50 off your first 2 orders plus free shipping with code STIR50. Terms and conditions apply. Visit blueapron.com/terms for more.
Mom, Dad, I just have to say, it breaks my heart watching you stress over dinner every night. This year, I don't want you doing the fridge stare down. Hot take. With the new Blue Apron, eating healthy is easy. They've got pre-made and one-pan meals with plenty of balanced nutrition. No subscription needed. You could be plating like a chef instead of negotiating with leftovers. Make it your healthy, tasty, and easy 2026 dinner resolution. Just saying.
Get $50 off your first 2 orders plus free shipping with code STIR50. Terms and conditions apply. Visit blueapron.com/terms for more.
Well, welcome back to Gopher's Workshop. I'm your host, Aaron. Joining me in this wonderful soon-to-be new year is Creals.
Were you confused? Was that a question?
I was, because I don't remember when this episode is supposed to be posted. It's probably the new year already. Get over it.
In fact, I can do simple calendar math. This will be just into New Year.
Ah, okay. So, Happy New Year, everybody. It's 2026. Get over it.
We're like 3 days in and you're already telling him to get over the year. I don't know what happened in the first 2 days that, as of recording, hasn't happened yet. Who hurt you?
Who hurt you? Society. Anyway, speaking of New Year, Chris, what's today's episode about?
New Year's fornications. I don't know.
New year, new you. Hey.
New year, older me.
Oh, God.
Even more crippled. Yeah, long story. I think we should kind of talk about goals for our 40K journey, right?
Okay.
And for the most part, we're gonna talk about what we're hoping to achieve next year. We're also going to, let's say, talk a little bit about why I think this is important. We'll start with why I think it's important.
Okay.
Over the last week, I have had not one, but 3 separate people kind of talk to me about how they're like a little frustrated, right? And one of our players did something, like they decided to do a thing on their own, and the way they put it made me actually really happy. They want to relearn their faction. Okay. They play Tau. They've been playing Tau for a while. They know what Tau do, but also they're getting frustrated with Tau, which is fine. That happens, right? We all get frustrated because we're like, we want to force a thing that doesn't quite work anymore, whether it's because of points or a codex change or whatever. And I think, and this is kind of what I told them, I think we should all relearn our faction. Like at least every other edition, you should like take a step back and be like, hey, I played Guard for a long time. I think Guard should do this. I think these units are good. I think these units are bad. But also, I kind of made those decisions. I kind of ingrained that idea in my head like 2 editions ago. Well, when this codex comes out, I need to take a step back. I need to take my preconceived notions out of this because I'm not sure how much of that's true anymore, right? I've got it built into my head that this guy's an auto-include because I think he's amazing. Okay, well, that used to be true. Is that still true? So, long story short, as far as they're concerned, I'm going to help them basically relearn their faction, right? I'm going to take the preconceived notions they have and they're going to try to put them aside and kind of forget them as best they can. And we're going to either verify that some of those are still true, or we're going to test some of those theories and find out some of that isn't true anymore. And that should help not only make that person more competitive, but also it will give them a better understanding of what it is they're trying to do. Because even if those preconceived notions are all still true, and presumably they're not, right? But let's say they're all still true, that will help give them some confidence in their list building, which by itself would be good enough. But what's the odds that all of our preconceived notions are correct, right? Like even me, I have strong opinions about, I don't like that unit, even though the internet says it's good. I do like this unit, even though the internet says it's bad. There's an amount of, some of that probably isn't true. It just happens to work out for me because of it fits into my play style and I know how to leverage some of that stuff. Maybe I could make better choices. So even me going back and like, I'm going to pretend I don't know Necrons anymore and let's go from scratch. What's good? What's bad? I could still totally learn things from that. So I'm not necessarily going to, air quotes, relearn my faction, but I'm going to help some other people do that. And I think that's a great choice. Furthermore, we got some goals to set, right? Like it's beginning of the year. This is a great time, and we're going to do this with our team as well. It's a great time to kind of decide, all right, what GTs do I want to go to this year? Knowing that I want to go to, let's say, Adepticon. Well, first off, it's January. I got to get my button gear, right? I got to knock off the rust. I just spent most of December kind of like being lazy with the family and like, not playing as many games as usual or playing a narrative league, things like that, to where it's like not exactly competitive play. Okay, I got to get my button gear because I want to do Adepticon and I want to do good there. Or maybe I'm not doing Adepticon, but I'm going to go do Nova later this year. Well, if I'm doing Nova, I got to start making plans, right? Nova is going to be in 11th edition. It's not going to be in 10th. Well, this means I got to I know going from 10th to 11th is going to be a soft change, not a hard change, right? We're not going back to indexes as far as we're aware. So that means, what are the odds I get a new codex before Nova? I should, reevaluate some stuff. I should try to really, plan to, let's say do a display board to get some bonus hobby points. Maybe I should go back and touch up hobby stuff now. There's a bunch of stuff that you can do for planning. Also, it never hurts to just get better at what your faction already does, right? Like I'm playing Necrons right now. Well, you know what I haven't played against in a long time? I haven't played against GSC. This new list that I'm running has never seen GSC. Maybe I need to hit up some of my, buddies at the local shop that like, hey, you got GSC. Would you mind playing a couple of games with me? And the fact that I'm asking you to play GSC means that the first game, maybe let's say doesn't count. I'm learning what GSC do. You haven't played them in a while, so you're also kind of remembering what they do. I'm going to specifically ask you, I want to play against GSC, but I want to schedule out not just a game. I want to schedule out like 2 or 3 games, because that second or third game is going to be actually way more beneficial to us, both of us, than the first one. These are things that we can kind of goal or plan for in the coming year.
So, Chris, what events are you planning to play in this year?
Me personally, honest answer, I don't know. I think I'm going to play in one big event this year. What I would actually like to do, and this is me personally, I would like to play in more of our local events. I would like to, get you to, let's say, judge some of the events. And I would like to, whether it's be the ringer or whatever, I would like to play in some more local events. That's not even to say that like, I'm trying to take it easy or whatever else. It's that we as a store locally are starting to get more people from other shops.
Oh yeah.
And those other shops have very different metas, right? Like the down in Mattoon, it's way more chaos oriented than it is up here. I suppose we've gotten a little more balanced with that over the last few months, but still they're like way heavy chaos oriented, and have like very little Imperium, whereas we have way more balance, but also arguably more Imperium than not. So there's things like that like I would like to start participating in some more RTTs because I just want to fight things that I don't fight as often.
Mm-hmm.
That's not to say that's what everybody's goal is, right? Like I know we have some guys in the shop that are specifically this year, they want to go to their first GT. Like they've never been to Adepticon before and they really want to go. Sounds great. We got goals for them, right? Adepticon, for example, arguably is way more hobby oriented than a lot of other events are. They really give a lot of bonus points for display boards and things like that. Other guys, they've been to Nova before. They want to go to Nova again this year and they want to improve on their placing from last year. Sounds great. Nova isn't very hobby oriented. You still have to do some hobby, right, to get your points, but they're way more competitive focused. There's, again, I'm trying to keep things generalized for this first part, but there's a lot of things to cover. Again, me personally, I want to start getting in some more RTTs. I also, this year, especially because we're going to start doing more battle reports, which is a whole thing that I need to work on. Battle reports also means I need to get a lot more hobbying done.
Yep.
That's probably my biggest thing is I need to get a lot more of my stuff painted. I have kind of coasted on having enough painted that whenever I decide my tournament list, I can paint up like one more unit and I'm already there. We're going to be doing the battle report stuff. I got to start, like I got whole factions that I've never really painted up. I've played them, but also I only ever played them casually. I never played them competitively. I got to get like whole factions painted up.
I will agree as well, because I took on 2 whole new factions this year and I have built 3/4 of one, which is the Knights. And I've built 1/3 of the White Scars. I've painted half a unit of bikes. It's just, okay, I'm going to be honest. For me, it's the Knights are exciting, right? A little intimidating because it's large scale. It's fine.
Sure.
The White Scars, I think the biggest obstacle I have to overcome this year is that it's so boring. I've already painted. Like the color scheme and everything. Like I tried to spice things up with a new color scheme. I already did the White Blood Angels, right? So we're doing like silver and red White Scars. Sounds cool. But I already painted bikes. And I already painted intercessors. I already painted jump packs. And it's not exciting. I already did the thing.
Yep. And that's a real task sometime, right? Like, especially for horde armies. You're not even necessarily a horde army, but for horde armies, man, you've painted 35 gaunts and you got more. So help me when they're guardsmen. So it becomes harder to like contrast paint.
Yeah.
You have to actually care about that's an armor piece and that's a gun and that's it. Like, yeah, horde armies are rough, man. I don't necessarily want to make this like a whole hobby episode, but there's little things you can do to help. First off, don't be intimidated by big models. All the details are bigger. It means that it's easier to control the brush because you're not trying to like get the little eye spot. It's an eye spot that's as big as like a normal Space Marine head. Feel more comfortable with that. When it comes to redundant models, the most I strongly encourage 2 things. 1, batch painting, right? It's already going to be boring enough. Get all the silver done. Do it all at once because now you can watch TV while you're doing it, right? Because it's like the fact that it's tedious and that you're doing the same thing over and over, it's going to be a little more muscle memory. So you can allow yourself to be a little more distracted. Listen to some 40K lore thing while you're doing it. Also, try to split it up as best you can. While you are batch painting like bikes, batch paint a color on the bikes. Now that we're done, I need to switch to a different unit, right? Let's go batch paint a different color on a different type of unit to like distract myself from bikes are boring. Now that I've done the red on the jump pack guys, now I can go back and do the gold on the bikes and
I did that break it up for the most part when I've painted 3 of the bikes, but I have batch painted the entirety of the bike silver. So all the silver is done on the bikes.
Right.
So I've done that. I even went as far as to like, and you saw them, I kit bashed and hobbied a lot on these bikes. So they don't even necessarily look exactly like Outriders anymore. They got a bunch of stuff going on for them. Even that wasn't enough to keep me excited. So I think I'll have to take your advice and paint 2 totally different units at the same time. We'll try that and see how that works. But honestly, especially being ADHD, the struggle is real trying to stay focused on the thing. You're like, yeah, but I already painted this.
Yep.
Sure, it was white and it was Blood Angels, but I already did it.
So then here's the third thing I have, and this kind of applies regardless, right? But when it comes to hobbying, the third thing that helps people with hobbying, especially me, is hobby with people, right?
Now, see, I can do that. When I hobby with people, I feel a little bit more motivated and I guess forced to complete a task. Because if I don't get it done and they do, it kind of feels bad.
Right. But I mean, like, we did this for, I think it was Nova last year. I forget now. But there was, we were people getting ready for Nova. They were getting their list painted up. And painting is a struggle sometimes. Painting while like helping Frank paint his stuff. Well, first off, it's orcs. I don't own orcs. So it felt new and exciting to me to paint orcs. But because I helped him paint orcs, now the argument is, hey, buddy, I need help painting my list. And God, I'm tired of painting bikes. Maybe you go to him and be like, hey, you've never painted Space Marine bikes before. Would you mind helping me? And even if it's just painting shoulders, right? Any amount of time that it's not boring for him because he's never done it before is boring time that gets taken away from you.
Yeah.
That's worth it, right? Painting with people. And again, that's not even to include the fact that even if you're painting your stuff and he's painting his, painting it together so you can have a conversation, that's going to help keep it more interesting by itself. But taking that a step further, again, I'm going to help you paint a bunch of kilocans. All right, sweet. Now that I helped you paint a bunch of kilocans, you help me paint a bunch of bikes. And now collectively, both of us are less bored. Solid choices.
Yep. Well, Chris, we talked about hobbying as one of yours. What's another one of yours?
I have hit a bit of a rut when it comes to building lists. Building lists is arguably one of my favorite parts about the whole game. I have been a little desperate to help other people with lists lately because lists that I want to play with the factions that I own have felt a little stagnant, right? Like I feel like I could build another Dark Angels list, but I love the Dark Angels list that I have so much. Why would I build another one?
Yeah.
Necrons I'm playing right now, and I have a different list now, right? I built a whole new list and I'm playing it. I'm having a great time with that because it feels different. I think I'm going to try to force myself to play certain things that I don't like, only because it's going to force me to explore list building. How do I make that thing I don't like work? So now that we've gotten a few Grotmist attachments, I'm still struggling to finalize the list, but I'm exploring playing wolves again. Because as much as I'm upset about it's not a supplement, if I say, you know what, this attachment isn't so bad, it makes me almost regular Marines. How do I make this work? How do I make this arguably competitive enough to be playable at the RTTs I'm going to, even though I don't like certain parts about wolves right now? I think that's going to force me to explore the list building, explore units that maybe I haven't used before or used in a while in order to make that work properly.
And you know what? I'm right there with you. And not so much on like the list building, because I build lists all the time, right? Like, and you look at them and you go, wow, what is going on here? But I think going into the new year, I'd like to focus more on detachment specifically for me. As like, I'm the diehard Blood Angels player, right? Like we talked about, I built other factions. We're playing those for the battle rep, right? That's what they are. They're the bat rep armies that I'm going to be playing. Heart and Souls and Blood Angels. The competitive level of me is in Blood Angels. I built some really weird lists that shouldn't work, yet somehow do. I'm here for it. I think I need to start focusing on the things that I've been avoiding. Like, I don't know, guns as a whole. Any actual real tank busting. I avoid that stuff like the plague. Just last week I had a match and went, this tank busting sucks. And immediately killed a bunch of knights with jump back intercessors. Even though I had the thing that could kill a knight, I said, it sucks. I let it die. I didn't even bother with it.
Yep. And that's, that can be done in a couple of ways, right? Yeah. Like right now, as a Blood Angels player, you are very Liberator's Detachment is the only option.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
It's not,
so
but
I'm not even saying you're wrong competitively, but also I do think there's a level of you could force yourself to change that up by deciding, you know what? I need to put the Blood Angels down for a minute. I'm really going to focus on those White Scars.
Yeah.
Because now that you're White Scars, you don't have access to Liberator's Detachment, right? So
I don't have access to those
yourself.
Big punches, yeah.
Yeah, you're forcing yourself to explore other things. So you could do that with a faction change. And that's for you, probably the best move. Yeah. You already want to do White Scars, right? But also, yeah, maybe you just decide that like for other people that are maybe in the same boat that like I've only ever played Gladius. Maybe you just decide, what if Gladius isn't allowed? What if I decide, you know what? I'm not doing Gladius for the next 4 months. I have to choose something else. And in exploring those other detachments, long-term, that's beneficial for you, right? Because you're going to gain a bunch of information. And maybe it's about these are why these other detachments are worse than Gladius. Maybe that's all you learn. But the reality is, in playing the other detachments, in switching up your list, you're like, you know what? I didn't realize that Iron Hands would be as good in the like Firestorm detachment as they are. I'm not saying that that's like the most optimal, but also you might find some tricks that you didn't realize and it totally works out in your favor.
Well, it's like we've been talking for the better part of a year now that a Blood Angel shooting list is really doable.
Correct.
And we've built it twice. And I haven't played it once. I think a real challenge for me this year would be to play that Angelic Inheritors list, the shooting style list that we've built a few times. Because arguably...
Is that the shooting list?
I believe it's Inheritors.
Uppy, downy, right?
No, Angelic Inheritors is the one where you get reroll ones to wound and hit and reroll charges. And
for characters and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
No, the one you're talking about is... oh gosh, I can't remember that one. Angelic Onslaught or something like that? Or
I see my confusion.
I can't remember.
Angel.
Okay. But yeah, no, I think for me, moving into the new year, I think playing that a few times at the least, getting some reasonable shooting under my belt, learning the shooting phase better, because I also have that as one of my own goals this year.
For what it's worth, you're probably the only Marine player that thinks a Gladiator Lancer isn't good.
You're
like
right.
The only one.
I said that, literally put it in my lists. Played, died turn one, looked at my opponent, looked at Chris, and looked down the table. All Marine players, by the way, and went, well, this thing's dog shit. Everyone went, what? Oh, I missed all its rolls. You did the rerolls, right? Yeah, I rerolled a 1 into a 1. It was absolute dog shit. I let it die. What?
You're telling me 2 dice with a single reroll during a single phase of a single game is enough to determine how good a data sheet is.
No, what it was enough after I got done with the match and walked away and had some time to think about it, what was enough to determine was I hate actual tanks. I hate anything with an actual big gun. I like the weird thing. I don't like the thing that's supposed to do a thing. and
that's fine, right? But also, while you're a good player and you have like lists that are doing well, how much better could the list that you're already playing be if you had a better understanding? Well, it's not even that. It's not even that if you took that. It's that if you had a better understanding of that, right?
Yeah.
So like if you decide to start playing Vindicators, well, you don't like them right now. You don't really want to play them. But if you had a better understanding of them, you could take the list that doesn't have any Vindicators and go up against that Iron Hands player and have a better understanding of how scary they are.
Yep.
So you could play the list without Vindicators better.
Yeah. And I think that's going to be the main goal of playing the shooting detachment style and playing the, Knights and playing let's face it, Knights is my bread and butter. After fighting them for so long, and even the local Knights player, when I fought him last week, was like, God, you just everything I did, you just had an answer. Yeah. Because it's Knights. I fought them so much, so often. Even your codex coming out, it didn't matter. Nothing changed. You're still big giant robots. I know how to deal with
it. And while that is a oversimplification, that is true in that you have enough experience against them that you're able to make smart choices.
And it's because I understand their units. I know them. I fought them. I've even played them now. Because I'm so familiar with them, I can make better choices.
Right.
And the codex coming out, did it change things and I had to learn some things? Yes. But it didn't change so much that all of a sudden now I'm dog water against Knights.
Right.
Again, this was the argument we made a long time ago. But that same argument is what you're making now in my own faction, or not even my faction, and my own branch of the factions, Space Marines. I don't understand every Space Marine unit that I have access to. And that's a problem. Yep. This is why I struggle against other Space Marine players a lot, because I play one thing down and dirty, and that's all I know how to do.
Sure. But it's also why when it comes to list building, you struggle to make shooting lists.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's you make a list and then you show it to me and I bring up points. It's not to say you did it bad, but it's you decided this thing. But why did you decide that? Because there's this factor and this factor. And you're like, oh, well, I didn't think about that. I just threw it in there because I thought it was good. Well, you could gain experience and understanding in the rest of your data sheets that you have access to. So then if you do that, now maybe you won't hate shooting units or tanks so much because you'll understand them better.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's to sum it up all nicely. A week ago, I brought you a bike list. And you went, I got no recommendations or changes. This looks solid. I played it. It played solid. It was great. Played it twice now. It's fantastic. I brought you the shooting list for White Scar, or any amount of shooting on my new White Scars list. And you went, this is not what we discussed. This doesn't even belong. What are you doing here?
And it's not to say that shooting or tanks don't belong in your White Scars list.
It's just what I
think
put
they
in
do.
Just wasn't.
But yeah, you're right. You're choosing things of but it fit in points. And
or it did a cool thing that it sounded cool.
Yeah. So there's, and this applies to everyone, right? Not just us. You can take the nonsense we're saying for ourselves and then kind of
apply it to you.
I was thinking about switching factions and maybe this is the year that I do Votann. Even if it turns out not to be your favorite, even if it turns out to be not what you were hoping it would be. If you already own the models, if you were already wanting to build the faction, maybe it's worth it because in playing Votann this year, when you go back to your World Eaters or whatever else it is you play, you'll be able to play them better because now you understand the Votann better.
Yep.
And again, insert whatever faction name to those positions, right? It's whatever applies to you. But having generalized information is good. One of the things that I did back in the day, and I want to say this was 7th edition. I think it was 7th. I did a league where they gave bonus points for playing different factions each week. This was not, and it was even in the packet, this is not to give bonus points to people who own multiple factions. It was to actively encourage us to swap armies. So I would go to the orc player that was in the league and be like, hey, I would really like to play this orc list that I put together. I kind of looked through the codex and this is what I think I want to play. It didn't matter that I was terrible with it. Building the list, looking through their codex, borrowing their models, and then playing that list. It taught me way more than I could learn by just playing against that orc player 2 or 3 times.
Not to spend too much more time on it, but it's the same thing happened with me. I fought in the Knights a bunch. I learned a bunch, right? I was really good against Knights. But then when my buddy wanted to play Knights, We picked him up, the Battle Force box. It happened years ago. Built the Knights, started playing them on the table. And then he wanted to know what it was like to play as a Marine. And I played as his Knights. Well, then it started to change. Now I started to be able to go, oh, okay, well, this gun, absolute dog water for these circumstances. And I can do this better and I can do that better. And eventually I just started playing Knights more frequently, started to realize a lot about them. And now as I'm back into my Blood Angels, it's like, oh, no, I know what your crazy crap can do. I got you. I saw you coming a mile away.
Right. Wait, because it specifically allows you to make better target priority, right? Because you're like, that Knight has witch guns. Okay, that's actually really scary to me. That Knight has witch guns. Well, that's a tank busting thing. What are you going to do? Kill 1 or 2 sanguinary guard? Like, I'm less scared of that one now. But that's because you know your list and their guns well enough. Same thing goes for anybody else. If I understand what Thousand Suns do, it will allow me to better do target priority, even if I'm not playing Thousand Suns. This is part of the reason why I want to do more RTTs, is just because I want to get more games in against more varied factions.
So we'll go to a mid break in a moment, but do you have anything else you want to put as goals for this year?
For me personally, we did our GT last year.
Yep.
So we've got another GT coming up this year because we're going to do it every year. I want to put way more effort into that GT. We did a lot this year for our first GT.
Yeah.
But we could get prize support figured out earlier this year so that we could advertise it a little better. I did a lot, but I think if I did everything I did this year earlier, it would feel less stressful.
Yeah.
It would allow me to maybe not even advertise better, but it would allow me to function the event better. So one of my things personally this year is, as a judge, I want to do the GT better. I'm trying to keep up on all the rules and judging and stuff like that. And that I feel like I do reasonably well. Mistakes still happen, but specifically the GT, I think I could admin better.
Okay. Well, my list is very short. We already went over some of it, but realistically, besides the other 2 things, all the 4 things we already discussed, there's only 2 things on my list that I want to do personally as a player this year. I want to be able to score an average 90 to 100. And I'm already arguably there right now. Like, I'm scoring 85 to 90. I want to get that 90 to 100 on an average game.
Okay.
I know. It's a long shot.
Well, okay. So here's where I'm going to say that's a good goal. I think that's a good goal because always challenging yourself, even if you don't make the mark, right? I'm going to challenge myself to do a little more than I think I can. In that, setting high goals for you is kind of like punching up, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you don't make it, but in setting that goal just a little out of reach, it encourages you to push harder instead of being happy and comfortable with like, well, I scored like 75 points. That's good enough. Well, right?
and that's where I'm at right now. I find myself towards the end of this year being content with being at 75, 85 points, scoring 90 most of the time. I'm like, I'm content. I don't want to be content. I never am happy to be content. So now that I am content, I'm like, nope, we're going 90 to 100. Perfect games. Is that realistic? No, let's be honest. Your opponents, their objective the whole time is to screw with you, stop you from scoring points. Realistically, no, that's not going to happen. But if I push myself in doing that, my thought process here is I'll make better choices during the games.
Yes.
I'll be thinking long term, how can I score points not only now on turn 1, because points matter now too, because of my personal goal.
Yep.
But also, how can I continue to score points later on in the game? It's always going to be about scoring now, which is arguably what makes the game what it is.
Yep.
It's about how much you can score, not how much you can kill.
So now there's an alternate way to view that same goal. Saying I want my average to be 90, first off, a little unrealistic. But let's say we want to still challenge ourselves. what if the goal isn't to increase the number of points you get, but in tracking some of your games, because you should be tracking your games, what if your goal is you're already scoring 75 to 80, but you want to maintain that number while punching up against people that you normally can't, right? So it's like, I'm already scoring 75 to 80. Well, what's my goal? To score 75 or 80. Is that really a challenge? Yeah, because it turns out my tracking says against this player and this player, I'm always struggling.
Yeah.
I want to still score 75 or 80 against those guys that I'm usually scoring like 60 against.
Yep. Well, and that's this year's too for me, is another goal is to fight a lot of our people that I avoid often. I want to fight into those people exclusively.
And it works, right? Because you did that exact thing with knights. You struggled against knights, so you decided to actively seek them out for like several months straight.
Yep.
And then you helped your buddy by playing his knights, and now you have a solid understanding of knights. Same thing applies, right? Like if you were always struggling against that guy's Iron Hands list or that guy's Death Watch list, like, okay, so it turns out I need to go out of my way to fight those factions more often.
And a big one for me this year is Necrons, is Death Watch. Another one, big one for me this year is more Chaos, just in general. Although I fought Chaos and I do well against Chaos.
It's specific Chaos because, to be fair, they play very differently, right?
Yeah.
Chaos Knights play similar enough to regular Knights that like it's Chaos, but kind of whatever. But like to say like Thousand Suns and World Eaters aren't anywhere near each other.
Yep.
No, they're kind of like, they're both Chaos, but they ain't the same.
Like, this is why I say like specific Chaos factions, because like World Eaters, for me, whatever. I don't really care as much because you're pretty much me anyway. For the most part, they're doing pretty much the same things I'm doing.
Yeah, very melee oriented, very little shooting.
Now, what I want to play World Eaters, why is particularly shooting style World Eaters.
Yep.
Now, I have never had to deal with your guns before. It's usually we run at each other and fight in the middle, and whoever wins, wins, right? Now you've got actual scary guns. Thousand Suns. I've only fought them that one time, and I struggled. Though I won and I got my points and we were good, it was still a struggle because they've got all kinds of shenanigans and things. And, you know, Death Guard are tough. And it's not that I can't win. I've won against Death Guard every time I fought. It's a matter of, it's always been a struggle. I want it to be less of a struggle for me. So these particular factions are where I want to fight. There are particular players that I am gunning for. Not because I'm going to beat you. It's because I have to fight into you because consistently I have struggled against you. I want to stop struggling against you.
And I think Thousand Suns is a great example, right? We haven't really had a Thousand Suns player until it was like 2 months ago, 3 months ago. We got like our first regular, his primary choice is Thousand Suns. We've had guys that own Thousand Suns and play them every so often, but that wasn't their like primary faction. Now that we've got the kid in the shop that comes in and plays semi-regularly, but every time he plays, it's always Thousand Suns. This is a great opportunity, not just for you, but for most of our team to be like, I don't get to fight them very often. You want to get a game in? Anytime he's available for a game, somebody on the team should be like, yep, you get a game whenever you want, because we could all use practice against Thousand Suns.
Aside from all of this, the last thing on my list that we haven't discussed, I mean, I want to do, I want to relearn my faction. I want to, everything we've discussed. It actually goes along with what you want to do. You want to play in more local tournaments. That sounds great. I want to actually TO more. And the reason for this is it's arguably I'm a part of the TO program too, right? I do the TO thing. I'm starting to learn from you and learn from the TO program and things. It's what I'm doing. And I've got a pretty solid understanding. But there are still some weird one-off things that happen that I don't feel comfortable enough to make the command decision on. And I should. I'm the TO. We've had events here where I've been the head TO and I still had to run to other TOs and go, and that's okay.
Yeah, there's never wrong with double checking.
There's nothing wrong with double checking. And I'm glad I did, because there's often times where I was like, I made a call, it was wrong, or it wasn't as well educated of a decision. So, we got there eventually. But what I want to do is I want to be able to rely less on that, because there are certain circumstances and certain events and certain things where you won't have that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a TO that's over here doing a decision. You got another TO over there that's doing another decision, and the other TO is busy doing a thing. Well, then you can't run over there, and you can't expect your players to wait at a table till one of those TOs comes clear so you can ask them.
Right, because you need to make a decision into their time.
Yeah.
As far as TOs are concerned, and this, I'm not saying this to you necessarily, but this is kind of like how I hope everyone sees it, even as players. Your TO should be able to be informed enough to make a decision.
Yes.
Also, this game is so goddamn complicated. If your TO makes the wrong choice, whether it's because they remembered before the FAQ came out, or that's how it was like pre-codex, or whatever it is, it's okay for the TO to get it wrong.
Yep.
It is not okay for the TO to get it wrong, and then after they find out they were wrong, to like stick to their guns.
Yep.
The answer is the TO should be willing to admit, hey, I made a mistake. And while we can't go back and fix this because I gave you the wrong ruling, I apologize. But I wanted to inform you guys how it's actually supposed to work, because that's how we should do it in the future. And I don't want you guys to be confused by my ruling. Which
is what we have done here every time.
Yep.
That I or some other TO has made a wrong calling. We have done it every single time. Hey, we made a wrong call. I can specifically remember the first wrong call I made. It was actually at our GT, and it was about infiltrate. They were talking about, well, we both have infiltrators. Who goes first? Crap. I don't know. I don't do infiltrating. So I was like, I guess you guys swap back and forth. Well, the answer is that's wrong. You don't swap back and forth. It's not like deployment.
So you're correct. And you have the thing. However, we gotta replace whatever the control function is for that.
Yep.
You're saying infiltrate. You mean scout.
No, I mean infiltrate.
Infiltrate you do as a normal deployment.
Yes. So there are two circumstances that happened during the TO program, or during the GT. One was scout, which is the one you're referring to, which I also had to correct myself on during that, which is the one where I also thought they all I was like, I guess you alternate. No, you don't alternate scouting.
Well, so it technically you
scout all, and then the next player does their all.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. So one player scouts all their units, and then the next player scouts all their units. I made it so you scout one, they scout one, you scout one, because I was like, I treat it like deployment.
Yes.
Infiltrate.
The thing with scout is it's specific to attacker defender.
Yes.
It's one of the few times where attacker defender actually matters.
Yes.
And that determines who does
what first and what operations.
Yeah. So that was a big thing of like who does scouts first. It depends on attacker defender.
The infiltrate I got to eventually. I made the wrong calling, but I also double checked myself and then made the right calling. So they never actually messed anything up in the game. But basically I told them, I was like, crap, I haven't infiltrated in forever and I don't remember. I guess you alternate, because it was two new players. And then I started to walk away. I was like, this doesn't sound right to me. So I went back through and I looked at some rules and I went, oh my God, you know how it works. So I walked back over to them and said, okay, you guys infiltrated yet? And they were like, no, we were about to. I said, okay, infiltrate actually happens in the deployment step. It's not its own thing. You infiltrate while deploying. So you'll do the infiltration as you're deploying your units.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, we held off to the end. None of us infiltrated any of our stuff. I was like, and that's totally fine. But also, you still alternate as deployments. But again, these are two situations at the same GT. I felt very stressed in making the decision because I'm like, oh my God, this is a GT. This is a big deal. If I, F this up, like, people are going to be mad. Pitchforks and you know what? I did anyway. You know what they said? I'm just glad you came back and corrected yourself every single time. I'm just glad you came back and told us the right answer. It's fine. The game didn't change arguably much anyway with what we did. I'm just glad you corrected yourself. And now we know the rules going forward.
Yep.
That's all any player asks. You make a bad call, make it right.
I don't want to get off on this tangent too hard because that's not really what we're going at.
And we've already arguably done it with the TO episode.
Right. But it's actually kind of funny because specifically during the GT, depending on how people ask the question can confuse you.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's like, I know exactly how scouts work, but also you asked me a question that technically all of the possible answers aren't correct because of the way you asked it.
Yep.
And now I'm like confused and second guessing myself. And I'm like, okay, I got to stop. And I'm just going to from the top explain scout without answering your question directly, because it's the only way that it's going to make sense, because that question was worded really weird. It happens sometimes.
And that's what happened with the infiltrate. They asked it in a weird way. They're like, all right, we deployed our unit, 2 infiltrates first. And I went, what? Yep. And it threw me so off.
It happens. And that's part of the reason why, one of my goals is to admin earlier all the GT stuff. It's not even because it's I did it poorly. It's because doing it all last minute makes it more stressful, makes it feel more panicky, and that makes it more difficult to even do a basic judge call. Because if I'm worried about, did I get this in BCP correct, the setting or whatever else, well, I'm already stressed about that. When people are asking me questions, well, now I'm distracted. So I maybe I do answer the question correctly, but I don't answer it fully. So the question comes up again later. Whereas if I had answered the question fully, they wouldn't have asked me again next game.
Yep.
So yeah, it all kind of, it works together to some degree, but.
So that being said, we drove on for a little while on ourselves. Let's take a mid break, and when we come back, we'll talk about the team and what goals we're looking for the team.
Sure.
Well, here we are, middle of the episode, Chris. What's the first thing we do?
The patrons.
So first off, we have to thank our guardsman patron, Sergeant Matt's Mini Minute. And then next up, our White Shield guardsman patrons, Mitch, Nicodemus, and Tiberius. And of course, our Servo Skull patron, Captain Beefalo. Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you for supporting us for this long. I mean, putting up with us for this long.
What is this? Us nonsense?
Putting up with me. Sorry. That being said, thank you to our listeners as well. We're hitting some milestones, right? We've been doing this for a while now.
Yep, we're getting there. So obviously with the holidays, some of these episodes are pre-recorded. So especially for patrons, if you subscribed after we recorded this, we still appreciate you.
Yes.
We'll get you on the next one. But yes, we are making some goals. We're getting enough episodes out that we're able to kind of, as we said before, focus on certain things better. Since this is a goals episode, our goal is to get monetized on YouTube.
Yep.
So part of doing that is we're going to be getting out. We're currently working on another battle report, getting that fully filmed and edited and, hobbied up so that it looks nice and things like that.
Also working on more of the shorts that we've been doing. Everybody seems to love those, and they've been real effective in the rules venue. We've had a lot of people positive feedback of, this is perfect. It's short, it's sweet, to the point, and it gets me what I need.
Also, one of the things that we're, again, goal oriented, but also we're doing is we're kind of cleaning up some of our stuff, right?
Yeah.
We've updated our website a little bit to make it a little easier for you guys to find things. We made some playlists on our YouTube so that it's easier to get to the things you're looking for.
Yep.
So yeah, we're making progress here, and it's going in the right direction.
Yep. Other things I would like to announce during the mid break here of goals. Something we have never discussed ever in any of the podcast episodes. This is a network. We have a whole multitude of shows to enjoy. We're awful. So wherever you get your podcasts, you can search out the Fumbling 4, and that's all the podcasts. Every podcast you find in there is going to be something that we have done as a team, or I have done as an individual, but there's going to be more of that to come. It's a new year, new us. We're going to be branching off. Since we have our network, we're going to be doing more shows of more content, more things that you love. It's not just the bat reps, not just the YouTube. It's not just 40K. We've already had discussions. We have ideas, and moving forward, we're going to start implementing a lot of those. We're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff. So keep your ears and eyes peeled. A lot of new shows to come.
Mm-hmm. So with that in mind, 2 little announcements. One, when it comes to non-40K stuff, by the time you're hearing this, we should have a little demo video up, and we have a board game that we made.
Oh, what you mean? You mean more things we're making? What?
We are
Weird.
a company that's going in enough directions that I'm not sure where we are all the time.
It's a shotgun spread fire.
Yeah, we try out different things, and we're not the best at all of them, but we, give an honest effort, and hopefully that some people enjoy, what it is we do. But yeah, we should have a little board game out that you can go check our website, and we've got those available.
Pharmacopoeia
is
the name.
But yeah, it's a nice, cheap little board game. It's got a bunch of like decks of cards, and you just kind of play with that. So you can give that a try, see if that interests you. It's not 40K related, so maybe it doesn't, but in case you do other nerd things, you can give that a try. As far as bringing it back to Games Workshop, by the time you're listening to this, there should be a bunch of the spoiler stuff we saw as far as the Maggotkin for Age of Sigmar, all the Nurgly boys. So a lot of the combat patrols, the new units, the new characters, a bunch of that stuff is going up for pre-order this weekend. I don't have confirmed numbers yet as of recording. We will obviously have confirmed numbers up because that's only what we ever put up on the website.
Yep.
But I kind of suspect with how excited people got that some of this stuff is going to go pretty quickly. So I'm not sure how much I have left on the site at this time, but go take a quick look and see if you can grab some of that stuff up, whether it's for your Age of Sigmar or whether it's for cool proxy guys for your Death Guard or things like that. Also, as a one kind of weird one-off, in addition to all that Maggotkin, we also got the combat patrol for the Chaos Dwarves, the Hashut guys.
Ooh. So their Spearhead is finally out.
Yes, I said combat patrol, didn't I? Spearhead. Words are hard.
So with all that being said, it's a new year. There's a lot of exciting things. We've failed to tell you about certain things we've already been doing, arguably forever. We know with our other podcasts and things,
in the board game,
games and stuff. But this is a new year, fresh start. We're excited to tell you about all kinds of stuff. Board game. We've got a brand new board game out. You can go check it out. We encourage you to go check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. Go check out the video to see if it's even something you're interested in. Go check out the YouTube. Go subscribe. We're still pushing that. We've got exciting things around the corner. And in order to get there, we need your help is the answer. And the more help we get, the more love and support we receive, the more we can push ourselves into doing more fantastic and wonderful things for you, and always putting you as our fans and our consumers first.
And again, there's all kinds of way to support. Some of it's free. You can just watch the YouTube videos, hit the subscribe button, because those numbers help get us closer to monetization. If you want to help out more directly, obviously you can go to the Patreon, and we've got $1, $5 subscriptions, things like that. So there's a bunch of ways to help. Obviously, we've got the new board game. Feel free to purchase that. We've got plenty of costs to recover on that guy. We appreciate all the support in whatever form it comes in.
So with that being said, I got nothing else on the mid break. What do you got, Chris?
I think that's it for me.
All right, let's go to the last part of our episode.
I'm done with subscriptions. Streaming, fitness, razors, vitamins. I've got subscriptions for everything in my life. They lock you in, and half the time, I can't figure out how to unsubscribe. That's why I'm so excited about the new Blue Apron. Now you can get delicious meals delivered with no subscription needed, including new pre-made options. Keep the flavor, ditch the subscription. Get 20% off your first 2 orders with code APRON20. Terms and conditions apply. Visit blueapron.com/terms for more.
All right, Chris, last part of the episode. Time to talk about the team.
Yep. So we got to rambling on probably a little too long in the first part. So we'll try to keep this a little short and sweet. And I say that partially because I haven't gotten a chance to talk to the team. Like, I've talked to the team and we have generalized goals, but I don't have specific goals for those guys.
Yeah, because we talked about, like there's certain ones like want to relearn factions and like improve placings, and some people just want to participate in their first GTs. Like we got those generalized ones.
I kind of intentionally gave the team a lot of like hands off for December.
Yeah.
It's the holidays. People want to do family time. They've been going at it pretty good for most of the year. So we kind of took a bit of a break. That means some amount of rust is going to have built up, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that, but we're going to have to knock that rust off. So for starters, the guys that are going to Adepticon, we're going to really push them to kind of get some hobbying done for the people who feel like their tactics are still up to snuff. Obviously, this year, I really want to encourage guys to do display boards early, because Adepticon especially, they love display boards. They give all kinds of points for display boards. So that's the thing early. As far as long-term for the year, the team has a lot of new members that all came towards the end of last year.
Yeah.
Getting them some more attention is probably good. One of the things that I'm not sure all the team guys know is whenever I get games in with them, I have notes. I specifically take notes on them, and it helps me kind of track partially their progress, but also kind of like, I know this person struggles with deployment, and this person struggles with target priority, and this person struggles with whatever. So I need to get some more games in with them in general so that I can kind of check that progress. Regardless of that, I really want to see if I can encourage the team to take notes for themselves. Notes are, at least when I did competitive stuff, like I was actually, it wasn't my job, it was my fun. I did competitive stuff. I traveled to GTs to play, things like that. One of, I think, the most powerful things I did looking backwards was I took notes on myself. I gave this example to someone else the other day, but if you take notes, you're able to kind of parse out some emotion unintentionally, right? Like, I'm taking notes. I'm writing stuff down. This I could do better. This I messed up. This blah, blah, blah. Going back and reading your notes, it becomes more obvious. I wrote that because I was frustrated. Not necessarily because it was true or untrue, but like the way I wrote it, I was getting frustrated there. I got to either A, keep that in check, or B, recognize that I didn't mess that up. I just was frustrated that my rolls were bad. And then this part, this is too vague. I don't know, I made a mistake here, but this is so vague. I don't understand what the mistake was I made. I should think about that a little more and figure out what I did wrong.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of talked about this on a couple episodes back. Talking about things we can do to better ourselves as players.
Yep. And taking notes is tedious. It is literally extra work. I acknowledge that. But the amount of payoff that you get for taking notes, writing it down, spending even in 10 minutes going back and reading your notes and kind of thinking about, why did I write that? What could I have done differently? That little mind game, as it were, is probably one of the most beneficial things that helped me get to the level I was at the time.
So what else should we look forward to for the team this year?
I look for, in addition to the new players we got, I kind of look for two things to happen with the team. First off, to get some of our good players to get a little more practice / better at teaching, because we have so many new players to the team. I think it would be really good for them to work on teaching, because if you can teach it, you know it so well, you are way less likely to make a mistake with that topic, whatever that is. whether it's like deploying or, you know, target priority or whatever else. If you can teach it better, you can know it better yourself. The second thing is I expect our team to grow actually quite a bit this year.
Oh, yeah.
Like we've had new people and that's great. I love it.
We had new people in the slow months.
Correct.
And we are getting into the warmer season now and the more active season.
Right. Not quite yet, but
yeah.
Here soon it'll start getting warmer, especially with Adepticon. I think when we come back from Adepticon, a lot of people are going to hear about like the people who did go to Adepticon and they did well and they had fun with this. And I kind of look after we come back from that to kind of see a surge of people get excited. Also here locally, some of the local game stores may or may not be around for too much longer. So we may see some other guys come from a little farther away. And I know some of those guys are competitive, which is to say when they get here and they see the team, they may probably join in that. So, I don't know when that's going to happen or if that's going to happen. Hopefully it doesn't. But if it does, I am kind of expecting our team to kind of get a lot bigger this year, which is more work on a bunch of fronts, but is also good.
Well, something I want to see this year from our team. I want to continue to see the sportsmanship that they have demonstrated. And I will see it. I guarantee you I'll see it because of the people we have on our team. But this is more of me shouting out them of how wonderful they are when it comes to actually being good sportsmen. Because it's not enough to just show up, play, have a good time, and be a good opponent. It's also good to see them encouraging others to get better, to help them make better decisions, to show them that there is a better way, taking time after each match to talk about what their opponent did wrong and how to help them. This is all in the name of good fun and good sportsmanship. And I already see it, and I want to continue to see it across the team.
I think we will, and that's partially because of the like culture we built the team on.
Absolutely.
But for clarity there, I think, because that could kind of be construed in a couple of ways, like telling your opponent what they did wrong and helping them with like doing a better thing. It's not, hey, I think you did that wrong. Yeah. You should have done this. It's more about like, what if you did this differently? Do you think that would have been better? And just something as simple as that, like giving them, here's questions to think about. And then if you're like, oh yeah, I think I could have done that better, but I'm not sure, like should I have done this or should I have done that? Having a conversation, we're trying to help each other. That creates immense sportsmanship. Just saying like, well, objectively, you could have done that better. Okay, well, that might be true. That's not necessarily sportsmanship, right? Does that help them? Sure, technically. Yeah. Does that potentially just create animosity? Probably. Yeah. That's what I want to like. That's what I'm kind of wanting to say about like the culture around the way you do that, and whether that's the way you teach somebody or whether that's the way you just help air quote somebody. The idea that I don't have all the answers. Yep. I'm not even the best at this. But also, I think there might be something here, and I want to point that out to you, is really good sportsmanship. Yep. Because we're working together to make each other better.
Yep. And that's exactly what they'll do. They don't, hey, you did it wrong, do it better. That's Aaron talk for, they do it in a nice way that makes everybody feel great. I don't know. I wasn't listening. I was just there and was like, it makes me feel great. And I'm not even playing the game. They gave me the warm and fuzzies as the TO as I walked around. All right. Yep. I'm proud of them.
But you're right. That is probably one of, I would argue, the best thing we have going for us.
And I want that to continue. I want that to grow, and I want them to, because you can always be better, right? That's the idea. I want them to continue to foster that and grow that so that that also helps them become better players.
Correct.
Other than that, I got nothing. You pretty much nailed it. You got anything else for them for goals?
I mean, I'm not going to get into specific goals for like specific people because it all varies. But I'll leave it on. We've given you a bunch of examples for ourselves and for our team.
Yep.
Take these examples. Take a little bit of time. I take 30 minutes. I just sit down, have a cup of coffee in hand and just stare at the wall for a minute and like decide what it is you want to do. If you can set both good goals that are like positive oriented, not like I want to win more. That's not positive.
No.
As far as I'm concerned, right? I want to score better. I want to still make my scores that I'm making against harder opponents. Challenge yourself in a way that is positive, and then also make them realistic. If you were scoring 40 points a game, don't tell yourself, I want to score 80 points a game from now on, because the only way that's going to happen is if you start punching down, and that doesn't help anyone. Maybe it feels good for a game or two, but the reality is if it's like an easy win, if they just give it to you because they've played like 3 games ever, that's not going to feel good for very long. It's not positive. So try to set goals for yourself. Try to keep them positive and try to keep them realistic. And I think we're all going to have a pretty good time if we can do that this year.
Sounds good to me. Well, on that note, I got nothing else. Do you, Chris?
Also, can I make one of my goals?
Oh my God.
Can I make one of my goals this year to be
nice? Sure can.
I was going to say for Lehman Russ to be released.
Oh my God.
Am I allowed to make that my goal?
Yeah, you can make it your goal.
All right. Well, you heard it. I'm going to have to start sending shitty emails to GW until they just cave.
Give me my Lehman Russ. On that note, thank you all for listening. Tune in next week. Hey everybody, it's Aaron. I want to thank you again for tuning in for this episode of Gopher's Workshop with us, hanging out, listening. Remember, leave a 5-star review.